Hello there, Dan and Josh from the Acoustic Centre. Joshy, we are here to discuss that other great American guitar brand. It is, of course, Guild Guitars, something we both love.
A guitar that we have oohed and ahed over for many, many moons.
Yeah. Founded in 1952, of course. Guild have been around for a long, long time in various incarnations. But they never stop building fantastic guitars, and the Guilds they're building today are just sensational. What do you got there?
So, this right here is the Guild D-55, their Dreadnought, and it's Indian Rosewood back and sides, and Spruce top. So, it's your classic timber combination. And mahogany neck. So, you know, why would you get a Guild rather than anything else if for those who are uninitiated in the sound? And it's just like, do you like bass?
Yeah. Well, I do.
Do you like a round sounding acoustic guitar that's just like, you just hit a chord and it's like, wow. You know, yeah.
I mean, that could be my favourite sounding guitar in the world, the 55.
Yeah.
Give us another taste.
So...
We talk about sponginess with guitars sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like a built-in compression, a feel. This is the
squishiness.
Squishiness. Yeah. It's the king of the squishiness.
It's the king of the squishiness, you know. And not only has it got this round, beautiful tone, there's no other guitar that actually looks like this either, with this aesthetic. You know, the neck is always this kind of a red... Oh, what's that? What do we call that? A burgundy? Maroon?
I guess,
Yeah, maroon stain. And so everything about a Guild, it's just classic Guild, basically.
Close look at that neck again. You see it's a mahogany neck on the back, but it has a walnut strip down the middle of the back. There are some appointments that do set this guitar above your typical workhorse dread. It's a showstopper in many ways.
It is.
The fretboard in particular is amazing to look at.
Well, we were just talking about, you know, guitar players of note that have played this. And, you know, one person that we were talking about who's very much about show, he's an amazing showman, is Lenny Kravitz. And we've seen him many times in videos playing Guilds, you know, because, I mean, look at the things, you know.
It was a Guild Dreadnought that opened Woodstock. Richie Havens opened Woodstock with a D40, I believe that was.
That's right. And, you know, the list goes on. Bonnie Raitt.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many great players. And, you know, even into the 90s when we saw some of the MTV Unplugged, you'd start to see a lot of guys bringing out, like, Guild basses and Guild acoustics.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Alice in Chains, for instance. Like, there's just, the list goes on and on. But for good reason. They just sound absolutely amazing. And they're real showstoppers, exactly as you said.
Yeah. It is a big Dreadnought. You put this next to, say, some of the other more famous dreads around. They're normally a few mils or even a centimetre bigger in the body. It is a big guitar. With that comes a massive sound. Adirondack bracing in this one. Sitka top, but Addy bracing. Guild Shield, the Guild Peak, or something they call that headstock. It just looks beautiful.
Yeah, and it's certainly, as we started off saying, we've both looked at these guitars for many years and thought, I'd like to have one of those in our lives.
Yeah, I do love them. Comes with the bags, Anthem, pick up that one. Give us another taste. We're going to move on. Beautiful.
Rings on and on.
I have with me the Holy Trinity today of Guild guitars, Joshy. This is number 2. I actually have 3. Now, that is the F-55, formerly the F-50R. That is their jumbo shape, and they're very famous for their jumbo guitars, aren't they?
They are very, very famous for their jumbo guitars. In fact, I think this is what you associate with Guild as an acoustic guitar. When you think of a Guild, you always think of a jumbo.
Sure.
Or at least I do, and many other people do.
Yeah.
So if you want bass, this is even more bass.
Let's have a taste.
It's hard to believe.
Yeah, hear the difference.
Hard to convey on microphone, but straight away you will notice when you get on a jumbo, doesn't project like a Dreadnought. And it's got more bass response. But the Guild Dreadnoughts are not as squishy or compressed as, say, something like a J200 or an instrument like that.
The jumbos aren't?
Yeah, and
right.
you get a bit more throw.
Yeah,
still
that's
with
still
them.
nice and clear, that guitar.
It's a jumbo that tends to behave a little bit more like a Dreadnought, but still acts like a... sounds like I'm saying opposites, but they do still behave like a jumbo with a bit of Dreadnought sort of projection and clarity.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. So.
That's a beauty. Aesthetically, it's the same as the Dread. It's a 55, so it has the same lovely abalone and pearl inlays, the fretboard binding, same bags pickup. We actually have a used one of these in stock as well, Joshy, it just looks identical to that one. Beautiful back on that one.
Yeah, the book matching is stunning on this one.
Open geared tuners, gold
Love
butter
that.
beans.
And one other thing that always astonishes me with guitar manufacture when you look at all the details is how they do this fretboard with... You've got the binding, so it's bound, but then you've also got this stripe that goes up on the inside of the binding. So there's binding, wood, pinstripe, wood and abalone, and then pinstripe, wood, binding.
Yeah.
That's just me observing.
Beautiful looking guitar. It's a showstopper without being overly showy. It's so tastefully done.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a beauty. Joshy, I'll take that F-55 and I present to you the F-512, one of the great 12 strings on the planet, you could say.
All right, this is my favourite 12 string in the world. I'm going to put that right out there.
Yeah.
It just is. And I've always loved this as the 12 string. It is my favourite 12 string on the planet.
Let's have a go.
And so on and so forth.
You've got a hit on your hands there.
Roger Hodgson.
Played on a guild, do you reckon?
He did. He used to play the Guild 12 string, and that's the classic Supertramp 12 string sound.
You see a lot of the greats on these over the years.
Yeah, a lot of soft rock guys in the 70s used to play these. Peter Cetera from Chicago. So he was a man who wrote a couple of hits.
Yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan had a go on one, I think, for a while. What is it about the F-512 that makes it your favourite 12-string?
Well, what I love about it is there's nothing anemic about it, if I can use that word.
It's a new word.
But balanced, clear. It's just full, but they're always clear. I keep repeating myself, I'm just getting a bit overwhelmed talking about them.
Well, they're a 12-string, but they're still warm.
Yeah.
Some 12s that are not as good as the others can seem a bit harsh, a bit too bright, a bit too jangly. This is lovely, controlled and warm all at the same time.
The other thing I would say about 12 strings, to me, a 12-string Dreadnought aesthetically doesn't look quite right.
Right.
To me. It might look right to other people, but jumbos, because it's a pear shape with this longer headstock, it balances out.
Just looks right.
It looks right. Dreadnoughts don't look right to me. They're kind of like this long body and then a long headstock. So these balance each other out. And I also think, this is just my own theory, but because a jumbo doesn't project the way a Dreadnought does, I feel like it slows down the jangly notes just a little bit.
Swallows it all up.
Yeah. So it mixes. It's like it mixes the 12 string better than a Dreadnought does, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's just an opinion.
It's good enough to me. The other famous jumbo Guild 12 string is the maple version, of course, which is built completely differently with an arch back and no back bracing. This is the Rosewood version with traditional bracing. And
they both sound quite different, by the way.
Yeah.
We only have this one at the moment, but it would be a dream. If I could own two 12 strings, it would be the maple and the Rosewood, because they sound quite different, and I just absolutely love them. Other people in our store don't like 12 strings. So let's not talk about that.
Better not go there. That's about it, I think. I mean, it's just great to talk Guild.